When Matthew was born, he was born 12, 13 weeks prematurely, and it was kind of an emergency. So he made his appearance into the world early. He was about 2.5 pound preemie and was touch and go for quite a few days, you know, in the hospital, but he ended up staying there for 2 months. Sometimes they can have all sorts of different problems due to prematurity, and we kind of ran the whole gamut with the health issues. He didn't start speaking until he was probably 2.5 years old. He was still in newborn clothes when he was like 10 months old. He was just a teeny tiny baby. Got us into the early childhood program, and we got the intervention that we needed there, and we started seeing occupational therapists and physical therapists and speech and language. Got him into a bunch of programs that they offered, and it's really made a big difference in his life. I don't know where we would be if we didn't have all of that, because he, with our insurance, we're self-employed, it doesn't cover those things, and it was just a real help when we needed it.
I worked with Matthew when he was pretty little. I don't think he was even quite 2 years old, if I remember, but he had some things that were a little tough to work through at the beginning, and we tried some different things and some new techniques with him, and to try to get him to talk a little bit, and he didn't really respond to them, and I remember feeling a little frustrated at that point. But I think that it's important for people to understand that it's a process, and you get them into these programs, you give them some help, and before long they start responding, and you try different things, and over time you figure out what works and they make some progress. I remember talking to Matthew's mom later about how after he went through the early childhood program, he went into the schools, and he got a lot of different types of things and services there that made some big differences. And if you look at him now, it doesn't seem like there's any challenges. He just seems to be right on top of things.
My name is Matthew Fluckiger, and I like music, and I can partially play the piano, and I can play the cello, so it's pretty fun. I like to go hunting with my air rifle. I like to do airsoft wars and stuff, just have some fun. Just a few weeks, well, probably about a month or two ago, I made a snow fort over there, lots of walls and stuff. I made all of this by myself in like 1 week, so we could do an airsoft war on the next Saturday. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I built all these basically just by hand. I used a shovel occasionally, but that's it.
I think I used to be one that kind of had the stigma of, you know, my child doesn't need that, and if my child needs that extra help, then there must be something wrong with me or my parenting. But I've learned that you know, the services are out there, and they're there for us to take advantage of. They're not, you know, we shouldn't feel embarrassed about taking our children in when they need help.
I'd like to do activities like every Tuesday I go to do mutual and stuff like that. And another thing is I have a good family. I have 5 siblings and 2 parents, and they're all really good, I guess. 3 boys, 3 girls, so yeah. And it's a pretty good life, I guess.
It's interesting, you know, we look at children like Matthew, and he's been really responsive to the intervention, and some kids really do take off and are able to resolve some of their problems. Other children, they're going to have problems a lot longer in their life, and they still are going to benefit from the early childhood. By getting in and starting early with these kids and using professionals that really understand how to work with young children, we can eliminate a lot of the symptoms and problems that they'll carry with their life. And sometimes children will need support throughout their life, but what we do know is if we start early, their lives are going to be a lot better.
As a parent, we all love our children, and we all want the best for them, and we all want them to progress normally and be the best that they can be. And I would tell every parent that if you have any concerns about your child's development, whether it be their hearing, their vision, to go check it out and check out the early childhood education program, because they are there to help, and they will do all the necessary screenings, and they are so wonderful to find all the necessary therapists, and they are just there to help you and to help your child to progress and to grow into a normal, happy, healthy child and adult. And they just have done so much for our family. I don't know where we would be right now. I don't know, quite where Matthew would be in his development. I would just encourage, students to get into the program. If you enjoy helping children, it's a wonderful, rewarding experience.